Okay, so now we're going to start by adding some blog posts to our website, and we'll also create the blog page for these to be displayed on. So to get some content for the blog posts, I'm going to go over to Google and search for some lorem ipsum to get some sample text for the posts. So click on lorem ipsum and then scroll down to the generator, and I'm going to generate 5 paragraphs of text. So we've got plenty of content for the posts. So click generate and then copy the 5 paragraphs. And then head back into the WordPress dashboard. And then once you get to the dashboard, click on the posts. So we can keep the Hello World sample post there for now. And I'm going to generate 5 new posts. So click on add new post and then give it a title of your choice. I'm just going to call this blog post 1. And then in the text box, paste in the lorem ipsum. So I've already created the news and the offers category. Just simply select add new category and type in a category of your choice, such as promotions, and then hit enter. And then you get the new category appearing on there. Just below the categories is also the area for tags. So you may want to add a few tags as well. So just type it in and hit enter. So I'm just going to create beauty, hair, makeup, and that will do for now. So click on publish and then add new at the top. And I'm going to make 5 new blog posts in total, so we've got plenty of content to work with. So you can either create your own or follow along with me. So the next one is going to be August offer. And then paste in the sample text and the offers category. And we'll add some tags. And then click publish. So then the third one. This can be August news or newsletter. This can be the news section, and the tags can be news and updates. And paste in the content and then hit publish. So I'm just going to make 2 more. So add a new and then sample post. Paste that in, and this can be uncategorized. And publish. And then 1 more. Sample post 2. And then publish that. So we've got 5 posts now in total, so we've got plenty of content to work with. So on the home page, we've only got the link back to the home page. Next, we need to create the blog page. So back into the dashboard and go to pages and add new and call this the blog page and then hit publish. And we need to tell WordPress that this is the page for displaying blog posts. So go to settings and reading and change the posts page to be the blog that we just created, and then save changes. And then just check out the site and check if the blog page has been added to the menu. Okay, that's great. So next we need to transfer the blog content from our Bootstrap project into WordPress. So if we just find our Bootstrap folder, mine's on the desktop still, and then open that up, and then drag the blog.html into your text editor, and we can start copying some of the content over to WordPress. So we don't need the header or the footer section, so what we need to do is scroll down to the blog section, and then we need to copy all of the blog section. So copy this and then keep going all the way down until we find the sidebar. So there's the sidebar modules. And then copy everything up until the footer section. So copy and then go into the index.php and then paste all this just underneath get header. And we can start working with this now and making it WordPress friendly. Okay, so we'll start by cutting the sidebar out and putting the sidebar into the sidebar.php file. So if we look for the closing blog sidebar div, and then locate the div just before that, and then copy the modules all the way up to the number of columns. So cut out the content. So you should just be left with the 12 column container, and then go to the sidebar.php, paste that in and save. Then back into the index page, and hopefully you should be getting an idea of what we're doing here. In the same way that we got the header, and also in the same way that we put the footer back in, we're going to do exactly the same. So between the sidebar div, let's open up the PHP tags, and then type in get underscore sidebar, and the brackets and the semicolon, and then save that. So hopefully that makes sense. We've cut the sidebar out, put it in its own file, and then added it back in using PHP. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add our blog posts to the WordPress loop that we added earlier. We only need one of the Bootstrap blog posts to work with, and we've currently got 3. So let's delete 2 of them. So if you locate the end of the blog post, so there's 1, and there's 2. So that leaves us just with 1 blog post. We don't actually need any of the content or any of the text, so we can delete that to make more space. And we'll just tidy this up so we know what we're doing. So we've got the container, the row, and the number of columns, then the blog post there. So as it stands, this is the content of our blog post, and we want to make sure that this is within the WordPress loop. So every time it loops through a blog post, it'll print out the blog post title and also the date and author, and then the content. So we can start surrounding this with the WordPress loop. So if we cut the opening loop and then paste this just above the div with the class of blog post, so paste that in. And then if we cut the end of the loop and then paste this at the end of the blog, so paste that in just there. So we cut out all the paragraphs of text, so we need to add the content back in. So cut the PHP tags for the content and then paste this back in just above the end of the loop. Okay, so there's the content in. Now just to make sure our divs are all in place. So we've got the div with the blog post, and I think we just need a closing tag after the content. Yes, that matches up with the blog post opening div. So I'll just put a comment in there, or blog post. I'll make some space between the end of the loop. Okay, so now we've got the loop and some blog information in there. Let's head over to our website and see how it's looking and give you a visual indication of what the loop is doing. So if you select the blog and then scroll down, so we can see that some blog posts are starting to appear on the left and our sidebar is being pulled back in. But one of the problems we've got so far is we created 5 different blog posts, but as we scroll down, we're getting the same blog post over and over again. And that's because in the index page, it's pulling the content, which is the lorem ipsum text, but all the information, such as the heading, the date, and the author, is all static HTML. So we need to now convert this to PHP, so WordPress can pull in the correct information for the blog posts that we created. So let's start that now. We'll start with the level 2 heading of new feature. And we'll just separate this on a different line so it's more clear. So open up the PHP. And again, I'm just going to copy these PHP tags because we'll be reusing them over and over again. And to get the title, we type in the underscore title. And let's save that. And head back over to the blog and refresh. So now you can see we've got different titles. And these are the titles of the 5 blog posts that we've done before. But if you hover over them, you can see that these titles aren't links. And usually in a blog, you'd want these to link to the full post. So we can do that in WordPress by adding the permalink. So we can surround this PHP in a link tag. So href is going to be equal to, and then we're pasting our PHP. And to make it a link, we type in the permalink. And don't forget the brackets and the semicolon. We need to tell WordPress where to link this to. So we'll do this by adding the title. And the title is going to be equal to, paste in the PHP. And then we'll type in the underscore title attribute. And let's put these on separate lines so it's more clear. So we need to close off the opening A tag just after the title attribute, just there. And then add the closing A tag after the title. So let's take a look at that and refresh in the browser. So that's a good start. Our blog posts are now blue, which indicates it's now a link. So back into the text editor. And then we'll do the same with the date and the author. So starting with the date, paste in the PHP. And then echo to the browser, get underscore the underscore date. And then inside the brackets, we need to tell WordPress what format we'd like the date to appear. So inside the quotations, we're passing in 3 parameters. So the first one is a capital F, which in PHP means the month, and then separated by a comma. A small j is for the day of the month. And then as we use in the footer section, we can use the capital Y to get the year. And then next we'll do the author. So we'll change the author's name, paste in the PHP. And the author is pretty straightforward. It's just the underscore author. And then brackets and semicolon. And let's save that and take a look. Great, so now that pulls in the username, which is Tranquil Admin, and it also gives us the date which the post was created. And it should all be the same because they're all created at the same time. So while we're in the blog post section, I'd like to add a little bit more information to the blog. Just above the author, just below the author, I'd like to add some information which shows which category and which tag we've used for all the posts. So that's pretty straightforward to do. If we just go below the author section that we just done there. And I'm also going to add some Font Awesome icons to make these look a little bit better. So Font Awesome is added with the I tag. And the class is FA. So we'll add the tags first. So the Font Awesome icon for tags is FA-tag. And then close that. And then we can generate the names of the tags by typing in the underscore tags. So let's save that and check it's working okay. And refresh. So we've got a picture of the tag appearing. And there we go. If we go down to a blog post where we've added some tags, we've got news and updates. And then here. So that's all working correctly. And then add a break tag, and we'll start adding the categories. So a Font Awesome icon. So I class FA, and this could be FA folder open. And then add some PHP. So this time we use the underscore category. And then save, so let's take a look. So we've got the Font Awesome icon appearing, but we've got the names of the categories appearing below, and we want to make sure that they are in line with the folder. And we also wanted them to be separated with a comma. So this is pretty straightforward to fix. If we go inside the brackets and add the quotations, all we need to do is add a comma, which is the separator. And then a space, so there's a space between each of the categories. And then refresh. And there we go, so we've now got them in line with the Font Awesome icon. And to make this look a bit more like the tags one, we'll just add the word categories in front of it. So just before the category, we'll add the PHP tags, and then we'll echo, or we can use a shorthand, which is an E with an underscore before it. And then the word we're going to echo out is category, and then a colon. If I could put space just after there as well, so there's a space before the first category name. So save, and then refresh. Okay, that looks good, looks a lot better than before. So hopefully that made sense to you. We're adding a font awesome icon, and then straight after, we're using PHP echo to echo out the word category. And then straight after the word, we're using the category function to print out all the categories associated with the blog post. So save that. And some of you guys may have noticed as you've been scrolling up and down the page that these blog posts are quite long. And normally on a blog you just have a short introduction, maybe just a paragraph or so. And then if you click on the blog or the title, you're then taken to the full blog post on a separate page. We can do this pretty easily in WordPress. It's just a case of changing the content to be the excerpt. So save, and this should now be a shortened version of the blog post. Just like that. So a little bit later on in the course, we'll create the template for the full blog post once we click on the title. Okay, so I'm happy with how this is coming along for now, so we'll end this video there. We're really making good progress. We've now got WordPress content which is generated dynamically rather than the static bootstrap posts. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.